My child, listen carefully. This is not something you were supposed to scroll past. This is not just another message among many. This is a heavenly signal, and it has been placed directly before your eyes for a reason you cannot yet fully see. Out of all the moments in your day, out of all the paths you could have taken, you were led here right now to these very words. And you need to understand this with all your heart. This moment is not random. Something is happening around you that you cannot see, something quiet but powerful, something that has been building for longer than you realize. And this message, this exact moment, is part of it. You may feel a strange pull inside you right now, a pause in your thoughts, a shift in your spirit. That is not coincidence. That is me reaching for you, breaking through the noise, trying to get your attention before something important passes you by. Do not ignore this. Do not brush it off like everything else you've learned to overlook. Because what you are experiencing right now has been aligned with precision. You were chosen to see this, chosen to feel this interruption in your routine, chosen to stop here when you could have kept going. And if you walk away too quickly, if you silence this moment, you may miss something that was meant to change everything for you. I know you didn't expect this. I know you were just moving through your day, carrying your thoughts, your worries, your quiet battles. But suddenly, here you are and something feels different. That feeling is not your imagination. It is a signal, a call, a whisper from beyond what your eyes can see, telling you that this moment matters more than you think. My child, there are countless messages in this world, countless voices competing for your attention. But this one found you. This one stopped you. This one reached into your path and placed itself directly in front of your eyes. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself what drew you here, what made you pause, what made you read this far when you could have walked away. Because deep down, something inside you recognizes this. Something inside you knows that this is not ordinary. And that is why you must stay. That is why you must listen. Because this heavenly signal was not sent to everyone, it was sent to you. And this moment right now is more important than you realize. Stop right here, do not scroll away. Pause for a moment and give me your full attention, because what is happening right now is more important than anything else pulling at your mind. I need you to be still. I need you to quiet the noise around you, even if just for a few seconds, because this message is not something you can afford to half hear or casually pass by. My child, stay with me. You have walked past moments like this before. You have felt small tugs on your heart, quiet whispers trying to reach you, and you told yourself, I'll come back later. But later never came. Life became loud again. Distractions returned, and the moment was lost. Do not let that happen again, not this time. This moment is different. You feel it, don't you? There is a weight to these words, a stillness settling around you, a subtle pull asking you to slow down. That is not something to ignore. That is not something to rush past. That is me asking you to stay because this concerns you more deeply than you realize. Do not treat this like just another message. This is not entertainment. This is not random. This is not something to skim while your mind is somewhere else. This is a direct interruption, placed into your path with intention. And if you divide your attention, if you let your thoughts wander, if you keep one foot here and one foot in distraction, you will miss what is being given to you right now. I need your focus. Take a breath. Let everything else wait. Whatever is calling for your attention can pause. Whatever you were about to do can wait a little longer. Because this moment has been prepared for you in a way you do not yet understand. My child, I am speaking to you, not to the crowd. not to someone else, not to a distant audience, to you, right where you are, in the middle of your thoughts, your questions, your exhaustion, your searching. And I need you to recognize the importance of that. Out of all the voices in your life, out of all the noise you hear daily, this is the one you must not ignore. Stay with me now. Do not let your mind drift. Do not let doubt convince you this is nothing. Do not let habit pull you away like it has before. Because every time you have ignored a moment like this, you have walked away from something that was trying to reach you, something that was meant to guide you, to help you, to shift something inside you. And I will not let you miss it again without warning you. This is why the urgency feels stronger. This is why the call feels clear. Because this moment carries weight. It carries meaning. It carries something that has been waiting for your attention, waiting for your willingness to simply stop and listen. My child, I am asking you again, stay. Stay even if your mind tells you to move on. Stay even if part of you feels unsure. Stay even if you don't fully understand why this feels different. You do not need all the answers right now. You only need to remain here long enough to receive what is being placed before you. Because something is about to be revealed, something that connects to the very things you have been carrying, the questions you have been asking, the weight you have been feeling in silence. But you must not rush. You must not leave. You must not treat this lightly. This is your moment to listen, and it matters more than you think. My child, I see you, even the parts of you that no one else notices. I see how tired you have been. Not just physically, but deep in your soul. The kind of exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. The kind that comes from carrying too much for too long without anyone truly understanding what you're going through. You've been trying to hold everything together, trying to stay strong, trying to keep moving forward, but inside, you feel like you are slowly wearing down. I know the confusion that has been surrounding you. There have been moments when you didn't know what direction to take, moments when everything felt uncertain, when nothing seemed clear. You asked questions that no one could answer. You searched for signs, for clarity, for something to make sense of what you were feeling, but instead, you were met with silence or more uncertainty. And that silence made you wonder if you were alone in all of this. But you were never alone. I saw the loneliness you tried to hide. You smiled when others were watching, spoke as if everything was fine, played your role the way you thought you had to, but when you were by yourself, the truth felt heavier. The quiet moments became overwhelming. The thoughts became louder. And there were times when you felt like no one truly saw you, like no one really understood what was happening inside your heart. I saw those moments. I saw the nights when your mind would not rest, when you lay there thinking about everything that went wrong, everything that didn't turn out the way you hoped, the people who left, the words that hurt, the plans that fell apart. You kept replaying it, trying to understand it, trying to find where it all shifted, and it left you feeling even more drained. My child, I also see the pain you don't talk about, the disappointment you carry quietly, the times you gave your best and it still wasn't enough, the moments when you trusted, when you opened your heart, and it came back to you broken. You've learned to guard yourself because you're tired of being hurt. You've learned to stay quiet because you feel like no one listens deeply enough anyway. And that has made you feel even more alone. You've been fighting battles that no one applauds, struggling in ways that no one recognizes, holding in emotions because you don't want to burden anyone else. You've been strong for so long that even you have forgotten what it feels like to not carry everything on your own. But I have not forgotten. I know how heavy it has been for you. I know how many times you felt like giving up but didn't. I know how many times you kept going even when you felt empty. I know how many times you questioned your worth, your path, your purpose, and still chose to take another step forward. That matters more than you realize. My child, the exhaustion, the confusion, the loneliness, none of it has gone unseen. None of it hath been ignored. Every silent tear, every hidden thought, every moment you felt like you were barely holding on, I was there. And I am still here. You don't have to pretend right now. You don't have to hide what you feel. You don't have to act strong in this moment. Because I already see the truth of your heart. I already understand what you've been carrying. And this is why you were brought here. Because you needed to be reminded you are seen, you are heard, and you are not walking through this alone, even if it has felt that way for so long. My child, listen closely now, because what you have been through was not meaningless. I know there were moments in your life that felt like pure loss. Moments where things didn't work out the way you prayed for. Doors closed without explanation. People walked away without warning. Plans you held tightly slipped through your hands, leaving you confused and questioning everything. But what if I told you those moments were not working against you? What if I told you that what you thought was rejection was actually protection? You saw a closed door and felt abandoned. You thought something was taken from you. But I saw what was behind that door. I saw the weight it would place on your heart. I saw the pain it would bring into your future. And so I stepped in quietly and I redirected you, even when you didn't understand it. My child, the delay you hated, it was not punishment. You thought you were being overlooked. You wondered why others seemed to move forward while you stayed in the same place. You questioned your worth, your timing, your path. But that delay was preparing you. It was aligning things you could not see. It was strengthening parts of you that would not have survived what was ahead without that preparation. Nothing about your waiting was wasted. And those moments when your heart broke, when you trusted and it fell apart, when you gave your all and it still wasn't enough, you thought that was the end of something important. You thought it meant you had failed or chosen wrong. But my child, that breaking was not the end, it was a redirection. Some things had to fall apart because they were not meant to carry you into your future. Some connections had to be removed because they were slowly pulling you away from who you were meant to become. You held on because it felt familiar, but I saw further than your feelings. I saw where it would lead, and I could not let you stay there. You didn't lose everything, you were being guided. Even the pain you felt, the confusion, the emptiness, the moments where you felt like you didn't recognize your own life anymore, those were not random. Those were moments where your spirit was being awakened, even if it felt uncomfortable, even if it felt overwhelming. Because growth does not always feel gentle. Sometimes it feels like everything is shifting beneath your feet. Sometimes it feels like you are being pulled out of what you knew into something uncertain. And in that uncertainty, you felt lost. You felt like you were drifting without direction. But you were not drifting, you were being moved. My child, I was there in every moment you thought you were alone. When things didn't make sense, I was working behind what you could not see. When you felt forgotten, I was arranging things you could not yet understand. When you thought everything was falling apart, I was carefully putting things into place. Not one tear you cried was wasted. Not one moment of pain was meaningless. Not one delay was without purpose. Everything you have walked through has been shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for something greater than what you thought you lost. Even when you didn't see it, even when you didn't feel it, there was meaning in every step. And now, you are standing in a moment where all of that begins to make sense. This is why you cannot look back at your past the same way anymore. You were not abandoned. You were not forgotten. You were not being held back. You were being guided step by step through things you did not understand at the time. And now, My child, you are closer than you think to seeing why it all had to happen this way. My child, you must understand something now, something that cannot be delayed any longer. Something is shifting. You may not fully see it yet. You may not be able to explain it with your thoughts, but deep inside you have felt it. That subtle uneasiness, that quiet pressure, that sense that things are not the same as they used to be. That is not your imagination. That is the beginning of a change that has already started unfolding around you. And this is why I am speaking to you with urgency now. Time is not as open as you think. You have been moving through your days believing there will always be another moment, another chance, another opportunity to pause and listen. But my child, not every moment carries the same weight. Not every opportunity returns once it passes. And this moment right now is one of those that matters more than you realize. You cannot afford to ignore this, because what is approaching in your life requires your awareness. It requires your attention. It requires you to be present, not distracted, not distant, not half listening. There are things aligning right now, things shifting beneath the surface, and if you remain unaware, you will not recognize them when they appear. Something is coming, not in a way meant to frighten you, but in a way that demands you be ready. A shift in your path, and change in your direction. An opening that you have been waiting for, even if you didn't know how to name it. But along with that shift comes the need for clarity, for focus, for connection, because without it, you may walk past what was meant for you. And I do not want you to miss it. My child, you have already lost moments before. Times when you felt a pull but ignored it. Times when you sensed something important but brushed it aside. Times when distraction became louder than the quiet voice trying to guide you. And each time, something slipped just out of reach, not because it was taken from you, but because you were not fully present to receive it. This is why I am warning you now. Do not let this be another missed moment. Do not treat this like something you can come back to later. Do not tell yourself you will think about it another time. Because the window that is opening, the shift that is happening, it does not wait for hesitation. It responds to awareness. It responds to your willingness to stop, to listen, to recognize what is being placed before you. You feel the urgency in these words for a reason. It is not pressure without purpose. It is not intensity without meaning. It is because something important is closer than it has ever been. Something that connects to everything you have been through, everything you have questioned, everything you have been waiting to understand. But you must stay alert. You must not drift back into distraction. You must not silence this moment with doubt, because doubt will try to tell you this is nothing. Distraction will try to pull you away. Habit will try to make you scroll past and forget what you felt here. But my child, you must resist that pull, because what is happening right now is not something you can afford to lose. This moment matters more than the routine you were following, more than the thoughts that were filling your mind, more than the distractions that were calling your attention, because this is where the shift begins. And if you stay, if you remain here, if you allow yourself to fully receive what is being spoken to your heart, you will begin to see that everything is changing in a way you did not expect. But if you walk away now, you may delay what is already trying to reach you. So I tell you again, do not ignore this. Stay with me, because something is coming and you are closer than you think. My child, this moment right now is not like the others you have lived through. There is something different about this one. You have had many days, many hours, many passing thoughts and fleeting emotions, but this moment carries a weight that sets it apart. This is not just another pause in your day. This is not just another message crossing your path. This is a turning point, whether you fully realize it yet or not. You were brought here, not by accident, not by chance, not by something random that simply happened to appear. There was alignment behind this. There was intention behind this. There was a quiet guiding that led you step by step, moment by moment, until your eyes met these words at exactly the right time. And now that you are here, everything depends on what you do with this moment. My child, you have been standing at the edge of change for longer than you realize. You have felt it in subtle ways, in the restlessness that would not go away, in the quiet dissatisfaction even when things seemed fine on the outside, and the feeling that something more was waiting for you, even if you could not clearly define what that more was. That feeling was not confusion. That feeling was preparation. Because deep within you, something has been awakening. Slowly, quietly, beneath the surface of your daily life. And now it has reached a point where it can no longer remain hidden, no longer remain silent, no longer be pushed aside. This is why this moment feels different. This is why you were stopped here. Because this is where the shift becomes real. My child, this is your turning point. Not in some distant future. Not someday when everything feels easier or clearer. But here. Now. In this exact space where you have chosen to stay instead of walking away. In this moment where you are listening instead of ignoring. This is where something begins to change inside you. You may not see it fully yet. You may not have all the answers. But something within you is starting to realign. The confusion that once surrounded you is beginning to loosen. The heaviness you carried is beginning to lift, even if only slightly at first. And that is how transformation begins. Not with loud, obvious sign, but with quiet, undeniable shifts within your spirit. My child, you were not meant to stay where you were. You were not meant to continue carrying the same weight, repeating the same cycles, feeling the same confusion without direction. That season is ending and this moment is the doorway out of it. But you must recognize it. You must accept that this is not ordinary. You must allow yourself to step fully into what is happening right now instead of holding back, instead of questioning whether this matters. Because it does. More than you know. This is the moment where you stop drifting and start becoming aware. The moment where you stop searching blindly and begin to see clearly. The moment where everything you have been through starts connecting in a way that leads you forward instead of keeping you stuck in the past. And you are not here by mistake. You are here because you are ready even if you feel unsure. You are here because something within you has opened even if you don't fully understand how. You are here because this is the moment that was waiting for you, the moment where everything begins to shift in a new direction. So do not doubt this. Do not question why you are here. Do not pull away now. Because this right here is your turning point. And what comes next will begin to reveal why this moment was meant only for your eyes. My child, listen carefully now because this is the moment where everything begins to change for you. What you have been waiting for, what you have been silently praying for in your weakest moments, what your heart has been crying out for when no one else could hear it is not distant anymore. It is not something far away that may or may not come someday. It is already moving toward you even now, even as you are reading these words. Your breakthrough is already in motion. You may still feel the weight of everything you have been through. You may still carry the echoes of pain, the confusion, the exhaustion that has followed you for so long. But beneath all of that, something is shifting. Something deeper than your emotions, stronger than your doubts, and more real than your fears is beginning to rise. This is not temporary. This is transformation. My child, the healing you thought would take years is beginning now. The peace you believed was impossible to hold on to is starting to settle within you. The clarity you have been searching for is forming in ways you cannot yet fully see, but soon you will understand. You are not stuck anymore. You are not lost anymore. You are not forgotten anymore. You are stepping into a new season, one that carries restoration, one that carries renewal, one that carries answers you thought would never come. But you must respond to this moment. You must not stay silent, because this is not just about hearing these words, this is about receiving them. This is about allowing your heart to open again, even if it has been closed for a long time. This is about saying yes even if your voice feels small, even if your faith feels weak. Your response matters. It is the key that unlocks what is already being released. So I ask you now, my child, if you feel something stirring inside you, if you sense that something is changing, if you recognize, even in the smallest way, that this moment is not ordinary, say it. Saying, I believe. Let those words rise from within you. Let them break through the silence you have been holding for so long. Let them be your agreement with what is already happening. Or if your heart feels overwhelmed, if you feel the weight beginning to lift, if you feel something inside you softening after being hard for so long, comment, Amen. Let that be your surrender. Let that be your release. Let that be your way of stepping into what is being prepared for you. Do not hold back now, because every time you respond, every time you agree with what your spirit is beginning to recognize, you move closer to what has been waiting for you. You open the door wider. You allow the healing, the peace, the breakthrough to enter your life fully instead of standing outside, waiting for your permission. My child, your life is not ending in the place where you felt broken. Your story is not defined by the pain you endured. Your identity is not tied to the confusion you carried. All of that is behind you now. You are stepping into something greater, something clearer, something filled with purpose, peace, and direction. The things that once hurt you will no longer control you. The thoughts that once overwhelmed you will begin to quiet. The loneliness that once surrounded you will begin to fade as you feel a presence that never left you. Because where you are going, there is healing. There is restoration. There is peace that remains even when everything else feels uncertain. And it all begins with this moment. Right here. Right now. So do not hesitate. Do not let doubt steal this from you. Do not let fear convince you to stay silent. Respond. Step forward. Say, I believe. Comment, Amen. Because this is not just another moment, this is the beginning of your breakthrough, and everything is already starting to change. My child, hear this clearly. Do not ignore this moment. Do not walk away the same way you have before. Do not let this become another passing feeling that fades when life gets loud again. Because what you have just experienced, what you have felt stirring inside you, it is not something ordinary. It is not something that comes again and again without consequence. This moment matters more than you understand. You are standing at the edge of something sacred. A shift has already begun, and whether you fully see it yet or not, your life is moving in a new direction. But you must remain connected. You must stay aware. You must not drift back into the same patterns that once kept you distant, distracted, and disconnected. Because if you turn away now, you delay what is already trying to reach you. My child, I am not leaving you. Even when you feel silence, I am still there. Even when you feel uncertain, I am still guiding you. Even when you feel weak, I am still holding you together in ways you cannot see. You are not walking forward alone. Not now, not ever. But you must stay close. Do not close your heart again. Do not silence this connection. Do not pretend you did not feel what you just felt. Because this is only the beginning. There is more waiting for you. More clarity. More healing. More restoration than you can imagine right now. But it will unfold step by step, moment by moment, as you continue to stay open, as you continue to listen, as you continue to trust. Something is still coming, something greater than what you expected. And this moment, this very moment, was a doorway into it. So stay with me, my child. Do not walk away again, because what is ahead of you has already begun. My child, as this moment settles into your heart, understand this: what you have received is not meant to stay with you alone. Just as a seed must be sown to multiply, this message is a living seed meant to reach other souls who are still lost in darkness. When you give, you are not helping a person, you are opening a channel for my light to travel further, touching hearts that are crying out in silence. As it is written, give, and it will be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not just a verse, this is my living promise speaking directly to you. Now hear this and receive it deeply. I am placing this invitation in your hands as a moment of obedience. When you choose to support through the PayPal link in the description or the QR code on your screen, you are sowing into a harvest of souls, into a river of healing that will never run dry. Do not delay this act, because your giving is not small in my eyes. It is powerful, it is seen, and it is blessed. Those who sow into my work will never lack, and I will return to you in ways you cannot imagine. Step into this moment now.